I want to be hip. I don't want to be a goober mama. Have y'all seen the goober mamas? The mamas that wear blue jeans to up their armpits, you know. I don't want to be like that. So I went to the Gap to get some low-rising blue jeans. Have you girls bought pants in the last 5 years? Oh my goodness, terrible. Okay. I went into the Gap, this beautiful, darling little 19-year-old heifer, brought me in a pair of blue jeans to try on. I did. Okay, the zipper, honest to goodness, was about that long. And they hit me about right here. And I said to her, I said, is my stomach supposed to be hanging out over my blue jeans? It looks like a small purse. I said, are my panties supposed to be hanging out this far out of the back of my pants? She said, no, you're supposed to wear a thong. I said, excuse me, miss, but I'm a Christian. I don't use my panties for evil. We were at the University of Tennessee, Knoxville, and when we met, and I was getting my undergraduate degree, it took me a long time because I'm really fun. And he was getting his MBA, and I thought, oh my gosh, I'm marrying Hoop-de-Doo. He is so smart, he can reconcile a checkbook. There's no telling where we're gonna go, what we're gonna see, what kind of life I'm gonna have with him. Well, we graduated, and he decided to buy a used mobile home business in Bean Station, Tennessee. Y'all don't know where Bean Station, Tennessee is, do you? Okay, it's at the foothills of the Appalachian Mountains. Have you ever seen Deliverance? If you haven't, I suggest you don't. It'll mess with you. He moved me there, and he wanted me to be in sales for him. So I did that day. Till I saw a family drive up in a Gremlin with the window out and a 9-year-old smoking a cigarette. She lit it off of her meemaw. And so I went home that night and quit that job, and I got pregnant, and I had 3 babies in 4.5 years. Whew, it's right, it hurt. I was pregnant and or breastfeeding for 6 straight years in the foothills of the Appalachian Mountains. And the mountain people would say to me, don't you know what causes that? I'll be in the pickup line at school, and my children go to a really small school, and the mamas wait out in the vehicles. All right, I see my girls coming out every day, and they're in a good mood. I saw it. I saw the look on their face. And they come out, and they're goosing each other and tickled, and then they wave to the teacher and the principal. Bye. See you tomorrow. Okay. Then they come over to my minivan. Get in, shut the door. My 12-year-old take her backpack, sling it, hit me in the back of the head with it. Every day she says something like this. I'm starving to death. You don't have a piece of cheese in this car? Your driving's making me car sick. She can ask me some of the craziest things. One day she said, did Jesus ever have head lice? How do you answer something like that? I said, well, baby, if he did, I know he healed it.
I had funny grandparents, and my mom is really funny. My dad's funny, and yet we made fun of, we laughed about everything, you know. A very good sister now. She would fight a circle saw over me. If somebody messed with me, she would fight for me, but also messed with me. Well, she locked me in a meat locker with animals that had, were ready for processing. And that was a little traumatic, but it was fun for her. But she and I worked in our little mom and daddy's meat processing plant, and we were not good help. We wanted to curl our hair. It was the 80s, and we were having a good time. But yeah, we worked in a meat process. We wrapped meat. We wrapped the meat. My daddy was the butcher, and my granddaddies helped him. And then my aunts and my mama, they took the orders and wrapped for people, because I'm from a farming community of 500 people in Middle Tennessee. And so all these farmers would bring their beef and hogs and all that to my dad. Their own beef. 500 people. Right. We knew everybody. It was mostly farming people, but we had a business, and then we had a gas station. Corky ran the gas station. Corky, and he let us, my sister and I ran a lot of gas. We were going and doing, and he would let us charge our gas. And when I say charge, he'd write it down on a piece of paper and then tell our daddy, and he'd have to pay it. But she went to college. She went to college about an hour away, and she would be on fumes, and she would drive all the way back to Adams, charge her gas, and then drive back. Yeah, and Corky would just let us do it. But let me tell you, that's our claim to fame. Corky's boy became an OBGYN. Corky's son became an OBGYN, and that was a big deal for all of us, and he delivered Reba McEntire's baby. I was raised right outside of Nashville, Tennessee, so I saw country music stars all the time. We'd go to the mall, and we would, because they all lived right near us. That's how close I was to Nashville. Porter Wagner, Barbara Mandrell, Johnny Cash, and Gene Carter buying paint at Sherwin-Williams, and they had on full-length fur coats. They're buying their own paint, because country people buy their own stuff. Yeah, everybody's so tickled. We had a ball. It took 2 months. It was my first movie. And I couldn't even believe I was there. And every day we had a ball. Little Nick Jonas. Y'all should see him in his pants. Darling. And I had a scene with him. I had to flirt with little Nick Jonas, bless his heart. And, but we bonded. He was precious, yes. And let me tell you that, all right, I was so tired. I don't know if y'all know anything about making movies. I know you do, but it is, you sit there all day, like it's kind of draining until they call you. And we had a big scene that day, though, that was like stunts, and it's crazy. The movie is wacky crazy. And I was so tired, and I went back to the hotel, and I put my gown on. And my middle child called me, Maggie, and said, what are you doing tonight? And I go, nothing, I'm going to bed. I said, but they asked me to go to dinner with Nick Jonas and Jack McBrayer and Rory Scovel, but I'm too tired. She said, take that gown off right now, Mom, and you go and eat with Nick Jonas, because my girls are the age 27 and 28, where they were crazy about the Jonas Brothers, and they'd seen him in concert. So I went back down there, and I went out to eat with them, and I sat and bonded with little Nick Jonas. It was a steakhouse at this hoop-de-doo place. And talked with, and he showed me pictures of his baby, and my second grandbaby was born when I was doing that movie, so I showed him pictures of my baby. And then, this is crazy, but I was the person on the movie. Nobody knew who I was. Nobody knew who I was. Right, sure. It was all these famous people, Reese Witherspoon, Will Ferrell, all them. And Nick Jonas didn't know who I was. He just had this scene with me. And so we were sitting there, and this mom at this restaurant with her daughter and her husband walked by, and the mom was a fan of mine and had seen my Netflix special. And they screamed and went, Leanne Morgan, can we get our picture? You're my favorite. And I was like, okay. And they never noticed Nick Jonas, Rory Scovel, Jack McBrayer, and then Nick Jonas looked at me and he goes, who are you?